movement, We Invest in Nationhood, which was established on Independence Day of 2025, and in a mere 3 months was able to disrupt the political landscape of Guyana. Despite the name-calling, sanction man, gold smuggler, international fugitive, despite the delay, resistance, and every effort to keep me out, I am standing tall and strong.
Yes!
And as the youngest leader of the opposition, because over 109,000 voters believe in me and my MPs. They chose hope over fear,
Right.
and gave win a chance.
Right.
I thank our supporters who therein bestowed on me this opportunity to scrutinize the largest budget ever in the history of Guyana, putting people last.
Yes.
And in this vein, I want to remind the members on the opposite side that Guyana's parliament does not belong to you. It belongs to the people. Mr. Honorable Nandalal, I want you to let the nation know about the extradition request. The extradition request that came here on the 26th of November.
Right.
That is transparency and accountability.
Right.
That is transparency and accountability. There is an extradition request since November, and up to now, we cannot charge and bring these persons. I hope you in trouble them law books over there, you know. I hope you in trouble those law books over there.
Right. Let's go.
I want you to know that you could never be a presidential candidate for the PPP. Never.
It's okay to dream.
Today, in this honorable house, I am conscious of the weight of the moment,
Yes.
conscious of the expectations of the Guyanese people, and conscious of the responsibility that comes with responding to a national budget of this magnitude. Let me from the onset say thank you to the hard-working public servants of the different ministries. Although nothing is in the budget for the public servants, absolutely nothing.
And let them prepare it.
Even your guards out there,
Rough.
no increase for them.
Right.
That is the heart you got for the Guyanese people, Honorable Nandalal. Of course, I know the numbers more than you. I want to know how much is in the budget to pay all the lawyers, the prosecution team. We need to know that.
Right. Don't let it distract you.
Concerning the sanctions, the PPP influenced the sanctions. Before the sanctions, no, the country must know. I want to answer this. The country must know. Before the sanctions, your leaders told me that if I don't release a statement that I won't be running for office, things gonna happen. And indeed it happened. We need justice for Crummy Wing. What about justice for Crummy Wing?
Right. Continue. Let me go.
Mr. Speaker, let me make this clear. The size of the budget does not impress us on this side.
Not at all.
Does not impress us. Perhaps the honorable member, Ashley Singh, can draw comparisons to the nation and size versus substance.
Julius.
And while he can present for 20 minutes short of 7 hours, this much he won't be able to do.
Right.
Because this budget lacks substance. Putting people last.
Right.
This week, I listened to PPP members heavily focus on personal attacks on opposition members, and very little on their respective portfolios.
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
The government presents this budget with much pride and chatter about its size. You're right. I think we get a lot of headache under this government. A lot of headache under this government. All week speakers from the government boast about their $1,558 billion budget.
Yes.
With assurance to the nation that the budget is financed entirely with no new taxes.
Right.
But I want to caution those honorable members who are out of touch with the realities of the ordinary citizens.
All the time.
That size
All the time.
is not a measure of success. This year's budget represents a 12.7% increase from last year's budget and is 5 times larger than the PPP's first national budget in 2021.
Exactly. Size don't matter for you, because you
Every year, they come to this house with historic groundbreaking numbers. But where is this money going, Mr. Speaker?
Right.
And who really benefits?
To Florida. Money in Florida.
A budget should be judged not by how much is spent, but how smartly it is spent.
Right.
And how the people benefited.
Right.
Mr. Speaker, the first duty of this House is to therefore look behind the glossy, catchy headlines and ask tough questions. Who are the revenue streams carrying in this unprecedented level of expenditure? How much of this budget flows from oil revenue?
Right.
A responsible nation plan must be built on stable foundations, not on hope that the world market will always be kind to Guyana. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ashni Singh told this noble House that the economy is projected to grow 16.2% overall, and the non-oil economy will expand by 10.8%.
Right.
These are impressive numbers. They look good on paper, but they do not help a mother who stands in the market and finds that the salary she earned this month buys less than it did last month. Ask me how I know, honorable members. It is because I have been on the ground.
Right.
I have traveled the length and breadth of this country.
Right. Right. Yeah, but you
And I have reached into my own pockets on numerous occasions to help many people when the government failed them.
Oh my God. Continue, sir. You're doing a fantastic.
Honorable Gail Teixeira, you're present?
Right.
Why are you finding out about the little $298,770 monthly? I had a lot of respect for you, Honorable Teixeira.
Right.
But don't worry, every month I will donate some money to you for cigarettes. Don't worry.
You continue, nobody more disrespectful than
I listened to your speech. How you can lie and say,
right.
sorry, can't use those words.
Mr. Speaker, did I hear a word that's unparliamentary?
Dishonest. Withdraw. I withdraw that.
You better had. Thank you.
Yes. You mentioned 98%.
Honorable Member, both words are unparliamentary, but more particularly for me is the imputation.
Guided. You mentioned 98% of Guyanese receiving water, potable water. 98%?
Excellent.
Is that true?
Right. Continue, sir. Don't let the pedophiles distract you.
No one can distract me. I went through the worst under the People's Progressive Party.
Right.
And that is why I will ensure by the blessings of Almighty God, I work every single day for the people of this country, for the voiceless, the oppressed, to get you out of power 2031.
Yeah, especially
Yeah. So I ask, are these projections realistic for ordinary citizens facing high cost of living? At a time when the recent IDB stats, I know you don't like to hear the stats, 58% of Guyanese living in poverty and 32% in abject poverty.
Right. The thief in all this.
Where in these figures do we see betterment for the single parent, the teacher, the cane cutters, the fishermen, the pensioner, our indigenous people? The Honorable Sarah Brung is here. Please do better for the indigenous people.
Yes.
Please do better for them.
Right.
Because we will be on your backs every day to ensure that you better the lives of the indigenous people.
That's why me back to
Growth that is felt only in boardrooms and government reports is not growth. Those connected to the PPP are the only ones seemingly happy.
sad reality.
And even they are tired of the dishonesty. They are in my inbox complaining every day. Every day they're giving me information as it relates to corruption. Corruption. Our priority should be the poor people. Our priority should be the poor people in this country. We're going to address that very soon, very shortly. We're going to address that very soon, very shortly. If the PPP was so keen as it relates to this $191 billion they are claiming taxes, why they drop the charges? Why did they drop the charges? Kwame, Honorable Kwame, back in 2018, when I used to bankroll the PPP, your leader told me don't leave the money with Kwame. He told me don't leave the money with Honorable Kwame. Mr. Speaker, the government wants the nation to believe that because the budget is the largest in our history, it will automatically produce the best outcomes. But bigger budgets do not equal better lives. Ask the farmers, the youths, or better yet, speak to the auxiliary staff in the ministries. A family can double its spending and still fall deeper into debt if priorities are wrong. A country can triple its expenditure and still leave its people struggling if those monies are not properly spent. Do the salaries of our frontline workers and public servants increase relative to the rising cost of living?
Mr. Speaker, I wish to go back to standing order.
Honorable Member, Ms. Shashira.
Yes, thank you, sir. 38.6. A member shall not read his or her speech except with the leave of the Speaker, but he or she may read excerpts from books or papers in support of his or her arguments and may refresh his or her memory by reference to notes. Mr. Speaker, I'm asking for you. This has been raised several times in the House. I'm raising it again. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Leader of the Opposition, you heard the point that the Honorable Minister raised. Continue.
Thank you, sir. I saw
You look down, you my time with them.
I saw the high fluff man in Belize reading his speech. I saw him reading his speech.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition, I think everyone know who you're trying to talk about. Please. Please.
Okay.
Right. The great bishop isn't a problem. Pedophile.
We must ask ourselves, Mr. Speaker, how callous are the members on the opposite side of the House to stand bold-faced in this chamber and present the biggest budget in the history of this country, while more than half of Guyana lives in poverty.
Oh my God.
And there is little to nothing to cushion the cost of living or to ensure that the people of this country can live better lives. If parents must still choose between medicine and school supplies, then the size of this budget is an empty boast.
Right.
Mr. Speaker, as Nelson Mandela reminded the world, a nation should not be judged by how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest ones.
Right.
Let that be the standard by which this budget and the PPP government are judged. The opposition does not oppose development.
Mr. Speaker, 38-6 again. The honourable member is making no attempt to not read his speech. He's a politician who has won elections. He said that he won 109,000 votes. Mr. Speaker, the Erskine Mays.
Mr. Speaker, just give me a second, please. 38-6 says, a member shall not read his... Can I come in?
Honorable Chief Whip for the Opposition, I think I'm well, and while I might be the slowest person in the room, I wouldn't mind some lessons from you in interpretation. Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that one.
And let me remind the members of this assembly that everybody had a first time.
Right.
Honorable Teixeira, who rose and stand in order 38-6 during our first speaker's presentation. Even she had a first time. Mr. Speaker, you stood in this house once.
I want to
as an MP.
remind the honourable members, he said he's new on the job, he's a new kid in the block, that under Derek Jagan, as Speaker of the House, we were not allowed to read our speeches.
Honorable Minister Teixeira, you and I know the rules well. Honorable Leader of the Opposition, you were speaking about the Speaker's first experience?
No, sir.
You were saying about my first experience?
No, what I mentioned is even you had a first time. We all had a first time. Yeah.
Except my first time, I think I ad-lib.
Very nice. I like that.
Yes.
I like that. Continue on.
Mr. Speaker, permit me a brief personal reflection. 36-year-old Stacy Ann Rossum and her two teenage sons from Mako were promised assistance from the very members right in here. 3 honorable members promised to assist her building a home. She waited for months. She's differently able. And I'm happy to know that I delivered and built a house for her.
Right.
Although we have $900 million in the budget for the Men on Mission program, we got to ensure that these monies are spent to uplift the lives of the people.
Continue, we go in, we got time.
That said, when I stand in this assembly, understand that I'm not here to criticize without solutions. I am first a humanitarian before I'm a politician. I am first a humanitarian before a politician. I am not here for the position, the title, the ranks, to sit in the Land Cruisers, right? To live the big boy lifestyle. I lived it and I know of it. I lived it and I know of it. And it is from these real stories, Mr. Speaker, from standing face to face with real people and real hardships, that I can confidently say this budget does not benefit the people. What this budget is designed to do is to have big numbers on paper, and then in dark rooms, billions of dollars are siphoned off for kickbacks. Ask Zulfikar, Susan, Vikram, or Batilayan. No, I'm referring to them. Yeah. This is why every single day, with the strength of Almighty God, I will ensure that we highlight, expose, and scrutinize public spending. We will pay attention to how taxpayers' dollars are spent. And come next elections, you will be out of office. Mr. Speaker, when the members on the opposite side of the House announce another historical budget, I hope that this budget would have been a turning point from dependence and poverty to empowerment. This is not putting people first, this is putting people last. On these fronts, this budget falls short painfully. I listened to the Honorable Mark Phillips.
No, that was painful. That's painful.
You're failing us big time with GPL. Every day blackout. Every day blackout. Just now in Region 6, residents call and say blackout while you were speaking.
Lucky them!
Despite $40-something billion a year for the power ships, for the rental every month and the fuel, $40-something billion. When those power ships decide to leave, what happened?
Oh my God, we done with. We done with.
You promised 50% slash in the light bills for last year. Up to now, no decrease in the light bill.
Right.
Coming to another year.
Honorable Vikram, remember in 2020, we talked this story because you guys get excited when I hear about gold.
Right, excitement.
Remember in 2020, you didn't know how much penny weights make an ounce? Remember you didn't even know the gold price and how to find the price? But I know there's a first time for everything, sir. I know there's a first time for everything.
So how we know about it? Right.
We get a lot of reports in Marudi.
Right.
And the name, I think the name Rodrigo. You got to look into that, Honorable Vikram.
Right.
I know the name rings a bell to you.
Let's go, we doing this.
Licensed gold dealership for 2025 declined steeply by 21.5% to 121,000 ounces. But when I was in the business, the declarations were higher.
Right.
Where is the gold going, Honorable Vikram?
Where is it going?
Where is the gold going?
Right.
On average, an average of $2 billion leaking out of our banking system, causing a heavy rate. Right now, if you go to the banks, if you go to any one of the banks, you can't get US.
Don't listen to them.
And the Honorable Ashley knows very well what I'm speaking about.
Right.
If you go to the banks for 20,000 wire transfer, you gotta wait 2-3 weeks.
Right.
But when I was in operation, the banks would call me midnight to ensure they get a couple million US for the next day.
Right.
So that is why we are facing a heavy increase as it relates to the cost of living in Guyana. But they won't tell the honorable members in here about this or the people. They won't mention this. And this is affecting the people big time in this country.
Right.
You don't worry about that, sir. Tens of billions, you mentioned, spent on roads. And look at the condition of the roads.
Right.
I would highlight it every week.
Right.
But we know where the money going.
Right.
When the contractors receive their payment, they're not doing nothing, no job as it relates to maintenance of the roads.
That is it. You continue, sir.
Elections time,
They don't want the truth.
prior to the elections, you went and meet all these small miners. You give them engines, you give them tarpaulins, you give them pumps. And on the other hand, you shut down all the small miners.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the small miners are the lifeline and the backbone of this mining economy. We need the small miners.
We do.
The gold price is $5,000 an ounce. Right? You check if $2 billion is coming back to the system. Y'all withdraw $2.4 billion from the NRF. Just imagine $2 billion leaking out the system. And you guys are turning a blind eye.
Right. God help poor people.
I know very well about the gold business.
Exactly.
And from 2015 to 2020,
Right.
from 2015 to 2020, the PVP benefited the most from my business.
I would have been quiet without
I could recall a story. Back in 2019, 2020, a senior person on this side in government called me and they mentioned, I want you to release a statement that you're not providing security for the big boys in the PPP. I said I can't do that. I said I can't do that. That man is my brother and I won't do that.
Oh my God.
Do you know that the APNU never victimized me for that, although they were in power? Never victimized me for that.
The bitter.
And I told them straight. I told them straight, that man is my brother. I assisted both parties as a businessman, but I cannot do that.
Right.
Honorable members on this side, victimizing everyone that is supporting the Win party. Look just recently on the highway.
Yes.
Just recently on the highway, a lady went for a house lot,
Julius.
and they told her that she's a Win supporter and she cannot get it. But I want to thank the Honorable Colin Crowell. I think he looked into the matter and everything was sorted.
Right.
Yes.
That is it.
Was your friend, sir? Your friend.
Right.
Mr. McCoy, please have some decorum in this house. What is the heavy hatred about?
Continue, sir. We love it. Let's go. Let's go.
Honorable Vikram, I would like you to make lands available for the small miners.
Yes.
Viable lands. Ensure you focus on the small miners.
Right.
You seize all the lands.
Right.
Tell the people, you seize all my mining lands.
Right. So we
You seize all the mining lands. The gunmen are terrorizing the small gold miners. We got to ensure the Minister, Honorable Onich, we need to put systems in place
She could send
as it relates to security for our small miners.
Yeah, let it take Minister. Let that do.
Mr. Speaker, turning our attention to oil and gas. Honorable Vikram told this assembly that oil and gas have propelled development. Oil and gas are a catalyst for developing other sectors. Guyana produces 920,000 barrels of oil every day. Record numbers. And more than half of the country live in poverty. We were told by the Honorable Minister that the oil revenue is managed by parliamentary oversight. But how are we going to be parliamentary oversight when you guys controlling everything? Is that transparency and accountability? The minister claims oil revenues are protected because Parliament approves withdrawals from the NRF. But parliamentary approval under a government with a built-in majority is no oversight. No oversight.
All right, let's go.
Real oversight requires transparent audits done by internationally recognized forums.
Right.
Not reports filtered through the same government withdrawing and spending the money like there is no tomorrow. At present, the same executive that requests the money controls the vote, the agencies, and the reporting system.
Hey, that's madness. That is madness. Where is the transparency?
Honorable Teixeira, we had one of the biggest business in this country, right? Where all the banks depended on me for foreign currency, and also your party too. So have some respect. I don't know what is this. What is the problem with her?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Mr. Speaker, we are generating revenues that previous generations could only imagine. Yet this budget treats oil wealth as routine income, not as a transformational opportunity. Wynne made it clear oil wealth must be renegotiated, restructured, and redirected for across-the-board national benefit. This budget does none of that. There is no commitment to revisiting unfair contracts. There is no clear strategy to protect future generations from the volatility of oil dependency. Mr. Speaker, oil money spent without reform is oil money wasted. And we see that from the poor quality infrastructure. This government is heavily invested in new schools, hospitals, and roads with alarming structural defects mere months after completion. But we know why they like these big infrastructural projects. We know why. Oversight must be judged by outcomes. A country earning billions should not have communities begging for basic services. The EITI that the Honorable Vikram Bharat boasts about, at the end of the day, there is no transparency and accountability there, because all the records you have to submit to the EITI. The extractive industries. Extractive, sorry. Yes. Extractive Industries Transparency Institute. Yeah.
You learned something there, lad.
Many resource-rich countries are EITI members and still suffer massive exploitation, and Guyana must guard against such. The minister boasted about transparency in the oil and gas sector, but could the minister tell us what the final cost of the gas-to-energy project is, and why they secretly settle a dispute with the contractor without telling the nation what that cost is? Where is the report for the third audit of ExxonMobil? That audit reviewed over US $19.6 billion in expenses that Guyana must pay. Yet it is being hidden from Guyanese. Where are the quarterly updates and the field development plan? The VP wants us to believe that the reports were published. But when we found out differently, He then said that it doesn't need to be published public, because the Guyanese people won't understand to read it.
Hey. Oh.
But I know how to read it, and I will read it and analyze it for the Guyanese people. The current system allows the government to decide NRF withdrawals, the same government to control information flow, the same government appoints key oversight officials. This concentration of power is exactly what oil-producing nations are warned to avoid. Guyana cannot risk repeating the resources wealth for a select few and crumbs for the majority of citizens. Let me offer some solutions, because they are quick to say we criticize without having any solutions. Mr. Speaker, here is what real oversight would look like for the approximately 3.25 billion USD sitting in the NRF. Forensic audits published in full. A truly independent NRF board with opposition and civil society nominees. Re-establish a petroleum unit with specialists to provide oversight on the FPSOs 24/7. We want to hear about one man from Natural Resource, a man from GRA, one from the Bureau of Standards. We want a 24/7 service, fully monitored.
Right. Correct.
Additionally, many of the offshore workers on the 4 FPSOs are being unfairly treated. And if they dare speak up, they get transferred or knocked off. Yet you stand in this assembly to clap for yourself on the oversight you give to the natural resources sector. The young PPP minister, the Honorable Kioma, who was ballsy enough to address WIN with disparaging remarks on bank accounts, gloating in the victimization of his master through prepared PPP rhetoric. Honorable, the same bank accounts, the fellow members benefited so much from them.
Guyanese that they talking about.
Mr. Speaker, the PPP ministers would be happy to tell this assembly that over 1,200 Guyanese businesses are covered by the Local Content Act. How much belongs to those same PPP members?
That's the thing, man. That's the thing, sir. That's the thing, sir.
We got to see how much the shell companies do. Mr. Speaker, there are many gaps between what was presented and the realities on the ground.
Right.
Let us turn our attention to social services. Allow me to amplify the voice of my colleague, Honorable Natasha. Mr. Speaker, this budget glorifies social services as world-class through big spending without sensible reform. We propose in our manifesto an increase in pensions, an increase in children's cash grants, and modern and improved hostels. We propose to build care homes, special needs centers, and child care facilities. Not like the overpriced $94 million flat building at Anna Katrina. But I'm happy since I visited there, the building is finally open for the public. Big fanfare, fancy headlines, ribbon cutting ceremonies before the elections, and yet that building was there for months. But our people, they are benefiting from the building now.
Right. Thank God. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because of it. Thank you. Let's go.
They boast about having housing programs. Well, housing must be treated as an extension of good social services. Housing and a livable wage are all inseparable. Housing without affordability cannot provide shelter. I could tell you a thing or two in this regard. I have built many homes out of my pocket. Mr. Speaker, we the members of WIN believe that this budget has plenty of words and big numbers with heavy misguided spending so that the elites on Rob Street could get wealthier. Against this backdrop, Mr. Speaker, here's what a winning budget would have done. Increase salaries for public servants. Cut the cost of living. by employing several measures, even if temporary, while we await the major projects to offer more fixed relief. Measures like offering subsidies on electricity, Honorable Phillips, on water across the board, setting up food banks, even if it's to offer rice, flour, oil, and sugar to the poor and needy, reducing VAT, and started a nationwide kitchen and community garden project. These are measures that should help one to understand the plight of the people and what is needed to ensure you put the people first. This and more could have been included in this budget. What we need to do, Mr. Speaker, is to invest directly in people, not just projects. Many people still cannot afford food, rent, transport, and utilities with salaries alone. If a pensioner still depends on family remittances or informal work after an increase, that is not major relief. It is survival support. In 2023, we had 73,000 pensioners, and I'm using numbers presented to this House by the Honorable Ashmi Singh. In 2024, we had 76,000 pensioners, an increase of 3,000. And in 2025, just over 76,000 pensioners. No fixed number on the increase, but in this year's budget, Honorable Ashmi Singh said we have approximately 95,000 pensioners. Where did we find these new 19,000 pensioners? Are we therefore implying that in the year 1961, 19,000 Guyanese were born?
Oh my. Oh my.
One must question if these numbers are accurate and where the money is going.
Right?
Can you live on the 46,000, Honorable Phillips? You said you're one of them. Can you live on $46,000 a month, sir?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Mr. Speaker, while the PPP government spent approximately $4.245 trillion from 2021 to 2025, $4.245 billion spent from 2021 to 2025. How did it uplift the lives of the people? Pensioners received a pittance of approximately $4,100 per year, and this year the PPP comes to this House asking us to support a meager $5,000 for our pensioners.
Ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Is that putting people first?
Listen, it's 5,000 increase.
Let's go.
5,000.
Let's go.
One Dixie, $160.
I could recall in Mashabo, Region 2, I built a house for the oldest citizen ever in this country, 115 years of age, right? When her family sent me the pictures, how she used to live before, in deplorable, inhumane conditions. But after all, this is the uncaring government we have to deal with, the PPPC. These are things that the PPP should look into to better the lives of the people of this country, especially our centenarians. I visited so much of recent, and they all complain that it's hard to survive on $41,000 a month. What is required, Mr. Speaker, is a different vision for Guyana. But some of the honorable members are visionless. This budget supports inequality, it fuels frustration, and it does not meet our expectations. We on this side of the House and thousands of WIN, APNU, and even PPP members refuse to support this hardship. Guyana deserves a future where prosperity is shared, not promised on if the people behave well.
That's fire.
Not like the Eccles rally. If you behave well, you're going to get this cash grant. Trick the entire country. But come 2031, this is not going to happen again. Mr. Speaker, Guyana deserves a present and future where dignity is guaranteed, not negotiated. Mr. Speaker, the interest of the members on this side of the House is to serve the people, not to lord over them, but to serve them. And we will continue to demand a budget that does the same. There is little evidence that the 2025 social services measures provided any transformation relief to citizens.
When I tell you, she big.
Especially when you pay a visit to the Palms or the Amerindian Hostel. I visited, so I know. They act like the realities elude them. Mr. Speaker, let the honorable members address the declining birth rate in the country. Fewer women are making babies in Guyana, with 2025 recording the lowest birth rate in years, despite the introduction of the newborn 100,000 cash grant that takes months, and their leader stood right here and promised the mothers that they would receive it before they leave the hospital. I asked a few women, why? The same song reverberates. The cost of living is too high. You can't raise children comfortably in this economy with no proper social safety net. Budget 2026 expanded spending in some areas, but by how much? These social services barely increased under the PPP administration. Pension increased by a meager 5,000. WIN proposed an increase in pension to 100,000. Public assistance went up from 22,000 to 25,000. WIN proposed an increase in public assistance to 50,000. From 2021 to 2025, the PPP only increased public assistance by $9,000. How can our differently able people survive? Increases were not indexed against inflation because they do not care. We promised to reduce VAT from 14% to 10%. Mr. Speaker, not only did we suggest a meaningful reduction in VAT, but we also propose a revision of the PAYE and the income tax thresholds to protect working-class families. In our manifesto, we propose PAYE from 25% to 20%. And the income tax threshold to 200,000.
Right.
But this uncaring government only increased the income tax threshold to $10,000 to 140.
Let's go. Come on now, let's go.
This uncaring government did not reduce VAT.
Right.
Instead of easing the burden on food, utilities, school supplies, and transportation, they remove VAT on things like new vehicles, hybrid SUVs, security systems, jewelry, and high-end furniture. Walk through our markets or ask a normal man on the street. Speak to, have some manners please. Speak to staff in your ministries and ask how many of them can afford to buy new vehicles, upgrade their home, or buy jewelry. These measures are more like gifts to contractors and the rich than relief for ordinary Guyanese. These tax measures favor luxury purchases over daily necessities. Mr. Speaker, you cannot claim to be putting people first.
Again, I'm raising 38.6. The honourable member is reading his speech.
Thank you, Auntie.
Honorable member.
The campaign trail, you're going to hear it, don't worry. On the campaign trail, you're going to hear it. You're going to hear it on the campaign trail. Our nearly 70,000 hard-working public servants got nothing in this budget. Absolutely nothing. Not even a small salary increase. Not a bonus. Nothing planned for them in this year's biggest budget.
Right.
Nothing at all. On Teachers' Day in 2025, I can recall sitting in the botanical gardens and the teachers complained bitterly how hard it is to survive and the pittance they're receiving.
Right.
Mr. Speaker, our public servants carry this nation on their backs, but this budget turns its back on them.
Right.
They come here and praise them with words, sell big dreams on the campaign platform. Sell big dreams on the campaign platform.
Yes.
In turn, they pay them with crumbs. This budget brings no serious wage reform, no consideration for rising food prices, rent and transport, no answer to the frustration in every ministry and every police station. WIN's manifesto offered a real solution: structured wage increases tied to productivity, funded by national growth, and phased responsibly. Because we understand this much, you cannot demand first-class service while paying third-class wages. This budget forgets the working class, but we will not. Mr. Speaker, after infrastructure, which demands the biggest portion of our budget, we have education next, demanding an allocation of $183.6 billion. Notwithstanding that in the last 5 years, from 2021 to 2025, we have expended over $500 billion. Over $500 billion to the Ministry of Education.
Yes.
But in every region, our schools have plenty of problems. In every region, we have problems as it relates to our schools. Our education system is not properly managed. The big C word we can't use plagues the Ministry of Education.
Oh my God.
And Mr. Speaker, I have highlighted and assisted many schools with inefficiencies in education. My track record will show that across nursery, primary and secondary schools, I have reached into my own pocket to assist students and teachers.
Mr. Speaker, again I raise 38-6. The honourable member is making no attempt to abide by the standing rules.
Honourable member, the standing rules, the standing orders are quite clear about reading. So,
Picking up the slacks long before I was elected leader of the opposition. Honorable Parag, you need to ensure you do better for our children. 28 years now, the PVP in office, and the children of this country are forced to use pit latrines in schools. Bullying in many of our schools across Guyana is excessive. The school feeding program needs a complete overhaul. We have received so many complaints about the meals, and with the billions spent to build these schools and dorms, many are way behind schedule, and there are visible structural defects within months. I urge the Honorable Parag to take a walk up the road to the $700 million Brickdam Dry Weather School. Walk across on a rainy day and you will see that the school is leaking. Another rush project, another example of mismanagement.
Honourable member, two things. The Honourable Minister said the roof was not leaking in this house, that a tap was left on, and that tap was left on between the roof and the floor.
Guided.
So to accuse the Honourable Minister of not doing anything about a leaking roof is not accurate.
Guided, sir.
And then the second thing is, look at the reading, because it's obvious from here.
Okay. Yeah. Our honorable members on the other side of the house want to talk about putting people first. These are some of the issues you need to address if you truly want to put our people first. Address bullying and blunt violence among our students and even physical assault meted out to our teachers. A senior female teacher at Charity Secondary School in Region 2 was brutally assaulted by a grade 9 male student on January the 22nd, 2026. Address the unstable electricity supply in schools like Kurukuru Nursery and Blackwater Primary in the Barima River. Address the bat and pigeon infestation in schools, namely the Zeeburg Secondary School and Port Kaituma Nursery School. Work on fixing schools of our dear Amerindian children, like the dangerous, dilapidated Chinawing nursery and primary schools. The Chinawing school. Some schools in the hinterland that should have dormitories are still waiting to see them built, though the contracts were awarded.
Awarded to who?
Though they were awarded, a lot of them unfinished.
Oh my God.
Parents must send their children to live with relatives or keep them home. Teachers sharing beds at the home of another teacher because the living quarters they were given is not fit for humans. Allocate more space for sports and recreation for many of our schools that are woefully lacking.
Let's go.
The Because We Care cash grant,
Right.
$200,000 before the elections in Letem was promised to the 206,000 children across this country. And now you come to this honorable house
You watching up
to give us $85,000.
Right, tell us.
To give us $85,000.
Architect.
$85,000. What happened? You promised $200,000. $200,000 you promised the children.
Right. Where the money there?
Mr. Speaker, as if enough mess was not made at Ministry of Education, they picked up this very member and put her in a corner at local government. The Ministry of Local Government is asking us to spend $2 billion to upgrade markets. But in 2025, the Ministry of Local Government expenditure was $41.9 billion, with over $2.7 billion approved for upgrades to border and other markets. So we must ask, where is the money going?
Right. What do you upgrade there? What do you upgrade there?
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Priya is wrong that about the markets, taking pictures without addressing the issues. It is like putting Band-Aid on a wound that needs to be cleaned and dressed properly. I have visited both markets and they are poorly maintained and remain the same. Poorly maintained and remain the same. We need to desilt the drains. We need to ensure the washrooms are working.
Right.
The vagrants are taking over the market.
Right.
So these are the things we have to focus on.
Drainage is a mess. Drainage is a mess. Drainage is a
Last year, billions were budgeted for solid waste management, yet garbage bins were overflowing in the city.
Right.
This year again, the big spender comes for more billions.
Right.
Mr. Speaker, the PPP cabinet is uncaring. How a minister could try to convince us that chocolates from humble beginnings can have you buy houses abroad and build mansions at home. The average chocolate vendor would be lucky to get one of the core homes they are building. And according to the Honorable Member Duncan, your bath towel is a wall-to-wall carpet in some of the homes they are given. But they do not care. I keep saying their priorities are misaligned. The Honorable Member can find time to address me so often. Can find time so often to address me, but can't sort the things out for the common man on the road. A city that looks neglected is not just an aesthetic failure, it adversely affects tourism. Tourism is built on first impressions. Visitors remember how a place looks. When a vlogger films overflowing garbage bins and stagnant waste in downtown Georgetown and highlights it for an international audience, that message becomes the image of our country. The millions of potential visitors.
The place nasty.
Infrastructure without cleanliness is like building a showroom with broken windows. But Mr. Speaker, if we want to put people first, we will redirect our energies to ensuring the trillions we are spending are spent wisely, and people in every sector are getting a part of the pie. Mr. Speaker, I choose to dub the sad state of public infrastructure in this country as expensive incompetence. Mr. Speaker, under public infrastructure, a whopping $196.1 billion has been earmarked to expand and rehabilitate the country's roads and bridges. the largest single transport infrastructure component of the 2026 budget, another installment for the big boys. When the government chooses to hand out road and bridge contracts to their friends and family instead of awarding the contracts based on merit, what we are left with is not quality infrastructure. We are given infrastructure that is unable to stand up to the test of time. This government touts a 2026 budget in which over 50% reflects expenditure on capital works, boasting about providing transformational infrastructure, world-class infrastructure. What world-class infrastructure are we talking about? Is it miles upon miles of road infrastructure plagued by shoddy work, requiring massive repairs just a few years after they were newly constructed? Linden to Kwakwani, our children can't go to school. Komaka to Quibano. Honorable Sarah Brown, please let your husband look into this. I heard he's the contractor. Roads built today, break up tomorrow. Bridges built today.
I just want to interject about the standing order, people who are not here. I don't know who is the contractor, but whoever's the contractor, they're not in this house.
Guided. Poor planning, poor quality infrastructure, poor outcomes, and the see well, Mr. Speaker, you ban that word from the Parliament. Mr. Speaker, this government's incompetence is expensive, a burden that our ordinary Guyanese brothers and sisters are forced to shoulder. To the Honorable Edgell, what you need to do is simple. Allow the process of awarding contracts at the tender board to function as it should, transparently, so that qualified contractors and, as far as possible, local contractors get a fair chance to qualify for these projects. Very soon, very shortly, we will address the CEO of the tender board.
Right.
Playgrounds and recreational spaces. Mr. Speaker, this Assembly cannot ignore the state of our nation's playgrounds and recreational grounds. Across Guyana, even recreational spaces for our children and youth to go play gets named among the Big C. The Honorable VP has repeatedly spoken about the importance of recreational centers and community grounds, yet they are being sold to friends, families, and favorites. To this end, I laud the efforts of my colleague, Honorable Odessa Primus, for debunking the myths that all is well over the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports. I highlighted so many problems with community grounds, and the list keeps getting longer. We have cows in these community grounds. Most of the community grounds in this country. Most of the community grounds in this country. We got grass taller than me. We need spaces for our children, for the families in these communities to go in the afternoon when they come home from school, to play a game of cricket, a game of football. Mr. Speaker, Budget 2026 spends more, but it does not do more. And that is why we are seeing increased allocations, which alone do not equal improved outcomes. From 2021 to 2025, we have expenditure of nearly $485 billion. Yet we see that hospitals without experience and adequate staffing do not save lives. Ask the family of the 22-year-old Renisha Niles, who died at the state-of-the-art Diamond Regional Hospital due to shortage of oxygen tanks, or Wendy Wharton, the mother who lost her baby girl at said hospital, or ask the surviving children and family of the 36-year-old mother, Latoya Griffith, and her baby who died at the New Amsterdam Hospital. And Honorable Frank Anthony has the temerity to stand up in this assembly and tell us health care has improved. Where? Some health-related problems.
38-6, reading of speeches.
Delayed
To invoke the standing order, please, sir.
Delayed payment to staff.
Honorable Leader of the Opposition, I don't know who is saying read on, but clearly that's a big violation of the standing order. I would urge you desist.
delayed payment to staff, especially to our patient care assistants, shortage of nurses, migrated in record numbers, timely turnover to get labs done, rush hospital projects, hoarding medication at the regional offices in the hinterland, vomit engineering, the New Amsterdam Hospital project, and the maternity and pediatric hospital right here at the Ogle. Yet billions, I'm sure, in the budget here. But these facilities should have finished long now.
Right. Don't argue, Frank. Fix the problem.
I saw you commission an ambulance boat in Region 2, and just the other day the ambulance boat in water at the Supernam Stelling. 80-year-old patient from Region 1 on a goods trolley at the Ogle Airport, an 80-year-old. I had to call the hospital. She was there at the airport for 1 hour on a goods trolley. And that is improved health care. Expired cancer drugs at New Amsterdam Hospital. It was posted online all over. Of course. Many health posts and centers are not equipped to store vaccines due to lack of proper storage facilities. Midway Care Center, you know about that company, Honorable Frank? Huh? The name sounds known to you, Midway Care Center? Midway Care Center, it sounds known to you? I heard you're the owner of the company. Uh-huh.
Let's go.
Suffice to say, Budget 2026 repeats the 2025 approach. Larger allocations, no proper planning, same outcomes. But the Honorable Minister is not concerned about improving healthcare. His focus is on his private healthcare facility. Where is training prioritized in this budget? Why are we bringing 400 nurses from Bangladesh and doctors from Trinidad? Why not pay our own better? The Honorable Minister of Agriculture wants us to believe all is fine and dandy over there. But our sugar workers were promised 3 or 4 days out of crop. They were promised 3 and 4 days out of crop, and they're retroactive from January to August. Up to now, they cannot be paid. And yet, they claim they care about our cane cutters. If it wasn't for me to visit the cane cutters at the Albion estate, up to today, I'm sure they wouldn't have been paid. Honorable Schumann failed the indigenous people. For decades, 3 fishing companies operated in Guyana. Noble House Seafoods, Pretty Paul Singh Investments, and Rupee. 10 years ago, Seabob shrimp catches were about 45 million pounds per year. Now in 2026, the catch is only 3 million pounds. Noble House is closed. Redhead is closed. Pretty Paul Singh is the only one that remains. This company has been the largest seafood company in Guyana and the Caribbean, with catches reaching a maximum of 28 million pounds back in 2013. In 2025, catches are down to 3 million pounds annually. Together, these 3 companies employed over 2,500 workers. At present, the loan company, Pretty Paul, has only 450 employees remaining. So now the question lingers, why are these companies closed? What happened to the 2,050 employees who were laid off? So when Honorable Member Zulfikar boasts about putting the people first, these are the realities he refuses to accept. Mr. Speaker, government could have helped the fishery companies to keep them alive, so that our Guyanese people could have remained employed in these companies the same way they cushion other industries. They could have given the companies economic concessions such as incentives and reduction of taxes on various fishing supplies, like the endless concessions given to the Chinese. Because we know the PPPC, we know they're very close, to so-and-so. So I ask again, how are we putting the people first? NDIA. Mr. Speaker, just take the period from 2021 to 2025. Approximately $190 billion was spent, and yet the ills continue. You can take the entire budget, $1,558 billion, and give it to the NDIA, and yet it won't solve the problem. Poor management, poor leadership.
That's good.
Is this how we manage the affairs of the people of this country?
Right.
Mr. Speaker, at its bare minimum.
Let's go. Let's go. Don't listen to foolishness.
Well, may say got some tablets there. Mr. Speaker, the rice industry has 238,000 acres in this country, with 2 reaping per year. Rice farmers are losing money in this country, and the government is doing almost nothing to improve their livelihood. Mr. Speaker, if only the honorable member would be contented with the wealth he amassed in the PPP's first term in office, this last term, he should source export markets with the best price. Until that happens, it is our farmers who suffer. Livestock, cattle, and poultry. Mr. Speaker, we are bringing in large quantities of meat and poultry from foreign countries, including Brazil and Suriname. When we have vast amounts of land and well-established cattle and poultry farmers who are not afforded the opportunity to produce adequate supplies of meat and poultry for local consumption and foreign export. Mr. Speaker, while we are here, whatever happened to the black-belly sheep, which came from Barbados? The last thing we heard, the black-belly sheep, they were at a farm on the Linden-Suzaik Highway at Long Creek, at a very posh farm too. Mr. Speaker, almost 30 years in office, the PVP has failed to effectively address our electricity supply. 2 power ships, and we are struggling with inadequate electricity supply. No, we gotta go back there, because GPL is one of the biggest issues in this country. This year, in our 2026 national budget, a total of $119.4 billion has been allocated to enhance the country's electricity supply and energy infrastructure. The PPP's inability to find real solutions to these real problems continue to see our country spending enormous sums of money with no concrete solution in sight. Similarly, Mr. Speaker, poor water quality in many parts of Guyana remains a problem. Some places we have Asian infrastructure and some none at all.
Honorable Member, I think there was an agreement on timing, so I don't want to say you have 5 minutes, but it's now bordering on almost an hour and a half.
Oh, hour and a half to them here? Wow. Yeah. Conclusion, Mr. Speaker. As I move to close this debate, let me remind this House that budgets are not meant to be impressive by numbers and records. Budgets are meant to improve lives. Budgets are not meant to dominate headlines. Budgets are meant to ease burdens. Budgets are not meant to inflate egos. Budgets are meant to uplift people. They reveal who matters, who waits, and who is asked to be patient yet again. The people of this country are not impressed by how many pages this book contains, nor by how loudly it was applauded by those on the government benches. Guyanese will judge this budget by a far simpler test. Did it make my life better? Mr. Speaker, this budget exudes the myth of putting people first. The government has chosen this as a central theme, and it is a phrase that sounds compassionate. It is a phrase that sounds inclusive. It is a phrase that suggests empathy. But a slogan is not a policy in action.
Right?
When we move past the polished language, or for some of the honorable members, the abused down, market behavior speeches, and examine the actual nature of this budget, we begin to see a troubling disconnect between rhetoric and reality.
Right.
Because putting people first means more than finally announcing a delayed promised cash grant.
Correct.
Putting people first means more than asking citizens
Right.
to be grateful for crumbs from a table made rich by oil.
Yes.
True people first budgeting requires structural and systematic reforms
Right.
and deliberate redistribution, especially since the cost of living has increased by 75%.
Right.
This budget offers the maintenance of hardship instead of the elimination of struggle.
Lovely.
Guyanese are not asking.
Just a second. Mr. Speaker, I'm just confirming, because you said we have, he was at 1.5 hours. I have 1 hour 15 minutes. Just confirming if that is accurate.
I am not going to get into a discussion on timing, but you have here an hour.
Just wanted to
Okay.
confirm. No problem. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Speaker, Guyana stands at a historic crossroads. Never has our nation commanded resources of this scale, but with that privilege comes responsibility. We cannot sit here as leaders of this great nation and mistake volume for vision or lavish spending for strategy. History will record what we did with this opportunity. Let it never be said that at the hour of abundance, that we did not do our best to ensure all 800,000 plus Guyanese benefited from our wealth. That said, Mr. Speaker, I cannot support the 2026 budget for passage in this assembly.
Lovely. Now you continue. Pedophiles don't like you at all, apparently. Continue.
Honorable Anil Nandalal, a matter of national importance. We have an extradition request here since in November 26. Right? Please make it known to the public. Honorable Onej, the extradition request came to you and Honorable Todd. Please make it known to the public. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. And now for the Honorable Member, Dr. Ashni Kumar Singh.